What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Valentine Veronica. This is going to be a comprehensive analysis on her and what kind of builds you could run on her and if it's worth using your Heroic Grails on her or not. And as always, if you guys do enjoy these free-to-play unit analysis, I would really appreciate if you could take a second out of your day and leave a like and subscribe. It helps out the channel so much, and with that said, I hope you all do enjoy and let us begin.
If you want a gift, I suppose I could get you one.
Valentine Veronica is a 157 BST Blue Mage Cavalier. She's got a really good offensive stat spread of 36 attack and 38 speed, and her HP is actually not that bad for a Mage Cavalier, as usually they have it pretty low, but Veronica being at 40 is pretty decent. She does have Pact Blooms Plus as her inheritable weapon. This weapon is pretty much same as Valentine Alphonse, so all you need to do is be in two spaces of an ally, and you can inflict -5 attack and resistance debuff on the foe during the combat, and if you hit the opponent then you can heal 4 HP per hit. So this is in combat healing actually, and if you double you can basically heal up 8 HP. So even if you do 0 damage to them, you're still going to be healing up HP, so this is pretty good for self-sufficiency. I guess it is not the best on Valentine Veronica because she's a cavalry unit. She would abuse stuff like solo skills and stuff like that, and the healing does have anti-synergy with one of these slot B skills that you could run, which is Desperation. So sometimes it could be annoying, but other times it could help you if you're running like a high investment bulky build, or you're running stuff like Fury or push skills which constantly damage you. Veronica being a Blue Mage Cavalier does have competition in Reinhardt and Ursula. Reinhardt is going to be present in the normal summoning pool. He does not take any kind of grails or any kind of trade fruits. Ursula on the other hand, if you did get all of the free copies of her, does take significantly less grails to plus and merge. Not to mention she does have a preferred weapon in Blue Crow Tome, which is definitely a pretty powerful weapon. So having these preferred weapons can, give competition to Veronica, and Veronica is going to be extremely expensive grail wise. Unless you really like Veronica, it can be pretty hard for many people to justify building her over other Blue Mage Cavaliers like Reinhardt or Ursula. Not to mention Reinhardt is in due for a weapon refine, so at some point I hope that he could also get a weapon refine, so things might change a bit for him. And we also have Laura Shell, but Veronica is definitely better than Laura Shell at this point. Unfortunately, Veronica's base kit is really not that good. HP speed 2 was present on Aversa, but it's not really that great of a skill and not many people are going to be running this. Chill speed was present on Pain, who's also a great unit, but it was also 5-star logged, and nothing changes here. Chill speed is still 5-star logged on even Veronica, so she doesn't really bring too much with the skills, and her special doesn't really make too much sense. AoE special is definitely not that good on her. You have to run some kind of 2-turn special like Moonbow or Glimmer. That is going to be helping you way more. The best thing that she has got from her base kit is Pact Blooms Plus. This weapon is definitely pretty amazing because of its in-combat debuff, its easy activation condition, and the fact that this is basically a better Tannen bit, which Winter Nino did bring to the Blue Tomes, and this is easily available. So here's some of the usage of Pact Blooms Plus on some other mages. This is going to be loved by any kind of enemy phase mage. If you're going to be using them in player phase, then the Fox Tome is much better, but if you want to use them in the enemy phase, then this weapon from Veronica is absolutely amazing for the healing. So male Robin could actually use this, and this is going to be helping him much more than his preferred weapon in many situations. Ileana could also do this by having a close for lull attack speed build, and she's actually decently bulky even on her defensive side because of the attack debuff from this weapon. And this weapon is really good in Ether 8's offense as well because it's really easy to activate, and the healing is going to be giving you the self-sufficiency, which can just open up a special, damaging special that you could run instead of running a healing special. Overall, Veronica is actually a pretty good offensive mage that we have got. She does have good offensive stat spread, which I can definitely appreciate, and she's actually going to be decently bulky with her HP and her weapon at max investment. As you will see later on in the build, she can actually get pretty decently tanky, which might surprise you. She's also really fast, which is what I like, and especially if you go with the plus speed IV at max investment, she can easily keep up with the speed creep that is happening in Fae. So Veronica can get incredibly fast, and if you're looking to build some really fast mages, then Veronica could be an option. Now, there are definitely some of the reasons why you may not want to invest into her. The first thing is that she doesn't have a preferred weapon, which means that she's forever going to be facing competition from the existing and even future Blue Mage Cavaliers that do have a preferred weapon. so that can be really annoying. And that also means that she's prone to getting power crept if we just get any kind of other free-to-play blue mage cavalier who just ends up having more stats than her or is a bit more min-maxed. So that is always going to be a problem with units who don't have a preferred weapon. So Veronica overall is a pretty good mage. It's just that the competition that she faces is really annoying, which can definitely make it hard to justify investing into her over the other blue mage cavaliers.
The people I'd like to give gifts to are Bruno and Xander.
Veronica can be built on a budget as well. For super budget, you could just keep her slot A and slot B same and just run a slot C skill like Hone Cavalry, and Glimmer is definitely going to be a much better special. 2-turn specials like Glimmer or Moonbow are going to be preferred on her, and something like Swiss Sparrow can help her. You could also run Fury actually. The recall damage is going to be happening after the combat, and she's going to be healing in the combat basically with her weapon, but still it could help you stay at a good amount of HP despite the Fury recall damage, so it does work decently well with the self-healing. And this also means that we cannot really run Desperation here, so that's why you could have the bootleg lull skill that we have got in dull range, so that could work on a budget I guess. And Speed Smoke can also work. Attack Speed Solo could be run in Sacred Seal to boost up her speed and attack for both phases. But this could be a bit awkward with her weapon at times, but it's really easy to activate again. We just need to make sure that she is one space away from an ally. Then her Sacred Seal and weapon will easily activate. You could also run her with Speed Dress Form from Wrath. That is a budget skill that we have, so that could work out with Speed Defense Link and Reposition from Norn. So some budget builds are possible like this, which can make her work in both phases. You could also use her in Arena Assault. Everyone gets a 5-star copy, so you could utilize that for Arena Assault by running Triangle Adept and Sword Breaker. She can definitely hit pretty hard, and the attack debuff from her weapon can certainly help her survive against some sword units and take them out. Foxstorm is a pretty good budget weapon if you want to run Desperation. Her original weapon does have the anti-synergy with Desperation, so that's why this is the tome you have to go for if you want to build her up for player phase. A Blade Tome is always going to be an option on a budget. At max investment, you could run a Push skill. Push skill does have the self-recall damage, but basically the self-healing is going to be keeping you in the threshold of attack speed push 4, which is really great. And because we cannot run Desperation, the best thing that you could run on her slot B is basically running a lull skill and stack up the debuffs from her weapon. So this is going to be inflicting -8 resistance debuff with slot B and her weapon equipped. So that is really good for the extra damage output. And she can get insanely fast with this build with Joint Drive Speed and also Swiss Sparrow's Sacred Seal. If you want to productively use the attack debuff from her weapon, then you could run Fury 4 and lull attack speed, and this can actually make her pretty decently bulky. And to offset the Fury damage, the recall damage, you could also run Mystic Boost, so that does help her with the extra healing that she could get every time she attacks. And you could also run her with a bulky build with Close Foil and lull attack speed. This might look a bit wonky on someone like her, but trust me, she effectively has 41 defense and 41 resistance while having almost 57 effective speed, which is not bad at all. She's not going to get doubled by too many things, and she does have pretty workable bulk for a Mage Cavalier actually, and on max investment, her HP is going to be pretty respectable, so she could definitely work with this kind of bulky build, but only really at max investment. You need the max investment every single merge point because Mage Cavalry units do have less BST. The self-healing from the weapon is definitely going to be helping you with the sustainability. If you just don't want to run her weapon that she comes with, then you could definitely go with a Fox Tome and run for a player phase build. Attack speed push 4, Swiss Sparrow 3, or even the solo skills do work out pretty well. And you could also run Heavy Blade with Glimmer, so that can help you trigger that in Desperation range. And Savage Blow and Rouse skills are also options that you could run for slot C. Juicy Wave Plus is a seasonal weapon which does have Desperation built into it, so that could free up your slot B skill, and you could run Lull Speed Resistance, so that's an option. And then Spooky Sensor is another seasonal weapon which does have Fury, so you could stack it up with Fury 4, which will give her pretty decent amount of bulk, and that could be utilized with a Brazen Sacred Seal. And finally, this is what Veronica can do at max investment by being such a bulky Cavalier, and she can effectively reach 51 defense and 50 resistance on an Aether Raid's defense team. ARD's defense rest is going to be helping her so much with extra bulk along with lull attack speed, and that all goes really well with Pact Blooms Plus. Now the thing is that she needs to be within 2 spaces of an ally, which could be a bit annoying as a cavalry unit. She might just blaze off into the enemy and not activate her weapon, which is going to be making it a bit annoying. So that's why you probably want to use her as a rally trap or something like that to make sure that she isn't the first one to go away from your team, because she will not activate her weapon then. So the attack debuff part of this weapon, along with all of these bulky skills, can definitely make her quite deceptively tanky. She can also reach above 60 HP, which can help her avoid the tactics rooms, which target specifically 60 HP and below. So that could be pretty helpful. Even though you're reducing the resistance of the foe with her weapon, you still want to run Moonbow for Ether Raid's defense because you're going to be facing some insanely bulky tanks, so that's why Moonbow helps. But for any other build where you're reducing the resistance of the foe, instead of running Moonbow that works on foe's resistance, you could simply run Glimmer and that could help you. And now time for the bonus section of this video. So unfortunately, Valentine Veronica doesn't have a very good base kit. I would honestly give her a farm skill. Farm skills are just outclassed by unity skills. There are just so many good slotted options that you could run that can work in both phases. So I feel like farm skills should be available on free-to-play units. We do have speed rest farm on Wrath, but still more units need to have that. Rest smoke is also available on Brunia, so that's why I would have given her rest smoke. So that could help because it's definitely a pretty useful skill for many units. And I would actually make her a red Cavalier at the end of the day instead of making her a blue Cavalier, because red Cavaliers are much more rare for free-to-play players. We only have Valentine Titania and Mage Erica, which we get from Hero's Path. So having Veronica be a red mage would have been much better in my personal opinion, as she wouldn't have to face any kind of competition from someone like Reinhardt, Ursula, or any of those units. So in my opinion, red color would have been the way to go for her, and this is what I would do. So let me know in the comments what you think about my theory craft, and I hope you all enjoyed this unit review. Make sure to share this video with your friends who are thinking of building up Veronica, or they're just big Veronica fans. They can definitely find quite a lot of builds here. I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their constant support, and if you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as giving us HP stat skills in 2021. So that's it, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.